So this is wheat we planted probably 14 days ago, Sarah, and just trying to see how the biologicals work as a seed treatment. Just looking for vigour, plant stand, evenness of emergence, and what the plants look like above ground, but more importantly underground.
Are you pretty happy with emergence?
Yeah, I would say I'm pretty happy with this field. Yeah, this has gone really well. Go in here, you reckon?
Yeah.
There's an earthworm. Ha, there you go. Told you we'd find one. Oh, here's one here too. See?
Look at that, yeah. Full of life.
So that's what we're looking for. We've been looking before, digging on top, nothing, then you go underneath where the weed is, and then they're just right at the root zone there. Looking at these plant roots here, I think that Sarah's probably holding the better lot of them. She's still got an earthworm hanging off the root of that one there. But yeah, we're seeing covered roots here with lots of soil, so you want to see that the soil stays attached to them around the rhizo sheath. That means that you've got microbes present and the nutrient transfer is happening. The length of the roots. Yeah, so how much underground growth you have compared to above ground growth. You want to get a really dense root ground mass so that it's out there exploring for nutrients and moisture, especially when the season gets tough. That's where you will get resilience in your plants.
And I mean, this is a pretty dense stand. Is this what you would normally aim for?
I would aim for maybe 70 to 80 plants per metre squared. I would say we'd be pushing 120 here, but
yeah,
it's the same planting rate, just every seed seems to have germinated this season. So with the biological seed treatments being our initial step away from a more conventional system, we saw very positive changes, which has led to different practices being implemented on our farm. So we now add a biostimulant with our chemical herbicide sprays. That's a new addition. Fulvic acid as well. And then we'll also use in-crop foliar sprays at certain times. If there is a high stress event like frost coming up in the weather forecast, I will go out and put a foliar spray onto the plants to increase their Brix levels and their overall health to help them buffer through that time, rather than just sitting hoping and praying that the frost doesn't hang around long enough to do any damage to your plant. Trying to be proactive and give it the nutrients it needs. Fungicides as part of our in-crop herbicide application has been standard practice for a few years, and then when we moved to this more biological way of thinking, they were still part of the Rex, and there was still some pressure on the plants that you could tell was from fungal infections. And the best way that we found to trial that is just to do a certain area of the field and not apply the fungicide, and have another area where you do apply the fungicide. When the header goes through at the end, we've found no significant differences in the overall yield at the end of the day. If you understand that the soil is alive and you can do things that benefit it, then when it comes to a position of pressure from different kinds of funguses or insects, the relationship between the soil and the plant is already established. And yeah, we just sort of step back and let the plant immunity give it first crack at trying to take care of itself. So things I learned 4 years ago, I'm only just getting to experience now. When you're trying new things in biological stuff, seasons are different, so it can take time before you see any results. So patience is key. Once you shift your mindset and understand that soil is alive, you don't see weeds the same anymore. You don't see different kind of insects that could be of a pest pressure on certain things that you're growing. You see them as part of the overall system, where there are lots of beneficial predatory insects that will keep that number in balance and in control. So when we're looking at the farm as a whole scale, the more holistic approach is to support life rather than to try and kill a lot of bugs that are out there. You do feel a lot more relaxed that you're now supporting and promoting different species of life on your farm. It's a much nicer environment to be around. You don't feel like you're chasing your tail always out there looking for things that are trying to kill your plants or your crops. Everything has its place, you're just trying to keep the balance right. If I was to start again on the regenerative path or looking at more biological ways to take care of your plants, I would say to get out there and go to field days and different events around your local area. There are plenty around, and don't be afraid because the community is very supportive and very positive. That's something that's a little bit different. They're not afraid to share experience that they've had, which will also help you in your journey.